Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to cover why over-communication is the critical skill you need to add in your notary business today if you already don't use it. We're going to touch on why it's important, many different examples of how you can implement it. That way you can stand out, earn more income, have more time freedom, and have a better legacy for your family. Now, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, share our content. Tons of content for notary signing agents to help them build, grow, and scale their businesses. And with that being said, let's get into it. Now, why is over-communication so important and what is it? So I'm going to cover the what in the back half of the video, but why it's important. There's two major reasons why over-communication from a notary signing agent's perspective to your clients, to your title clients, to the signing service, it's so important. Number one, it puts us at ease. When we hire a notary signing agent, especially for the very first time, we don't know what we're getting. We're not certain that we're going to get the best possible candidate. Now, we go through many different systems, especially at our signing service, Superlative Signings, to make sure that we have the absolute best possible. But even then, it's not a perfect science. We can make mistakes, we can have errors in judgment, and we can hire the wrong person. It happens, especially if you're doing hundreds or thousands of closings a month. It is going to happen. It's a pure numbers game, and there's humans involved, so there's human error. But if we get someone who over-communicates, it lets us know that they are very professional. They understand the importance of the signing. They understand that their role is so critical to make sure that they are the conduit between the hiring party and the title company, or the hiring party and the signing service. And all the information they can provide is so important, because the more they provide, the easier our job gets, and the less they provide, the harder our job gets. So, number one, incredibly important. It puts us at ease. And number two, it allows you to get paid more. Simply put, the notary signing agents that work with signing services that over-communicate and have this skill, they get added to more preferred lists, more signing service preferred lists. Meaning, from a practical standpoint, when we send out text blasts, the people who are on our preferred list in that zip code get texted first. And then 15 seconds later, the next notary, then the next notary, then the next notary. So, preferred list, favorites list, everybody else, depending on the platform. So that's why you want to be on these preferred lists, and you will if you over communicate. And obviously, if you're working with title companies, they're going to be happy to send you business all day long, because they know you are a very professional, trustworthy signing agent, and they'll probably be more than happy to refer you to other people in their office or other people in the industry. So it's a very marketable skill, but from my perspective as a signing service owner, I don't see it utilized much. So I'm going to give you examples of how you can over-communicate. That way you can add these into your strategies and be amazed at how much more business you're going to get. So you're welcome in advance. The first step is to be very detailed in your communication. How can I over-communicate? Well, number one, when I reach out to confirm the signing as a signing agent, whether it's phone, text, email, whatever the result is, the first time I reach out, whether it's I got through to them or they ignored me and I went to voicemail, either way, I need to immediately go into the platform. If it's Signing Order, which is a platform we use, update the order, and you can just put attempted to confirm with Mr. and Mrs. Signer, went to voicemail. I also sent them a text message and an email. I will follow up in 2 hours again. That's it. That lets us know that right away you reached out to confirm. You didn't confirm, but you let us know exactly that, number one, you attempted to quickly, which is a good sign. Number two, you told us when you were going to follow up again. Also helpful to know. That way we know you're on top of it. And lastly, not only did you call and leave a voicemail, but you also used the other contacts we gave you. You texted and you sent the email as well, so we know you've covered all the bases. Normally what happens, the signing agent will attempt to confirm, and if they don't get through, they actually won't update the order and let us know. And then when we reach out and say, hey, please confirm your appointment, it's been more than 2 hours, what are you doing? They say, oh, well, I attempted to reach out and I got a voicemail. Fantastic. We have no freaking clue until you update the order and let us know, okay? Again, unprofessional, they just don't understand. From our perspective, we want to know that you're on top of it. We didn't hire you to dilly-dally, we hired you to do a job. We want to know you're working on that job. So if you don't update the order, we have no idea, okay? So that's why this is so important to, number one, do it and be very detailed in your communications, right? Next, don't make any executive decisions. Let's say the signer reaches out to you. Let's say today is Wednesday and the appointment is in 2 days on Friday morning, and the signer reaches out to you, let's say Wednesday evening, you've already confirmed, and they say, hey, something came up. I can't make that 10 a.m. time slot. Something very important came up, but I can do 9 a.m. if that works for you. Now, if they reach out to you, number one, don't make any executive decisions. Reach out to your hiring party, the title company, or the signing service, and just communicate. Or again, communicate. Hey, the signer reached out, something came up at their work. They can't make it 10, but they can make it at 9 a.m. Just to let you know, I am available to cover it at 9. If that is okay with you, please let me know how to proceed, or please advise. And that way we can reach out to title, let them know, and see if they're cool with it or not. If they're not, they'll tell us, and then we may have to reassign. But if they are, then obviously we're going to reassign, or we're going to edit the time to 9 a.m. and keep you on it. Everybody's happy. So the critical error there is normally the signing agents, when that person reaches out, they will just assume that it's cool and go to and send a communication that says, hey, the signer needed to change it to 9 a.m. Just letting you know. First off, that's not always possible for different reasons that you may not be aware of. There are other factors in the transaction you're not going to be aware of as a signing agent. Do not assume that any change to the date, time, or location is okay. Most of the time, it is not. The only time it usually is okay is if it's same place, same day, but maybe earlier, slightly earlier. And even then, if there are other realtors or someone else that needs to be at the closing or they're bringing checks, again, don't assume it's okay. Just communicate, let us know, and say, hey, does this work? Please advise, and that way we can let our client make that decision, because that is their decision to make, not mine and not the notary's. Next, documents. So let's say it's a Friday morning, 9 a.m. appointment, and it's now Thursday evening, 8 o'clock at night, and we still don't have documents. We've reached out to the title already from the signing service perspective, and they say, hey, we're still waiting on lender docs. They're running late. Now, if we all know that, then you as a signing agent could always reach out to the signer, and usually this is really better off morning of, not the day before, because you never know what happens. So let's just say it's morning of, it's Friday morning, it's a 9 a.m. appointment, it's 7 in the morning, we still don't have documents, 2 hours before the closing, and we reached out to title and they said the lender is working on it, but they are scrambling, we don't have them yet. Now, you as a signing agent, you can let the signers know less than 2 hours, hey, just want to give you a heads up, we communicated with title, title's still waiting on the lender, they're getting things together, but it's not ready yet, so I'm just letting you know that, and just in case, if something has to get pushed back, meaning we don't get the documents, let's say until 8:45, then I got to print them and then get your copy printed and then drive to you. That might push it till me arriving at 9:30, 9:45, whatever. Are you still available? Do you have any flexibility, slightly later than 9 o'clock? Yes or no? And they may say, sure, yeah, I have flexibility. I can sign up until 11 a.m. Or they may say, I don't have flexibility. I can't sign, past 9 a.m. or 9:30. And that's fine. But either way, you're proactively reaching out to the signer and asking them what the possibilities are, and that way you communicate to us, hey, just so you know, on that same email chain about documents, I reached out to the signer, they said they do have flexibility, they can sign up until 11 a.m., and obviously I can still cover it even if documents are coming late, still happy to cover it. Or I reached out to the signers and they said, hey, they can only sign up until the window of 10 o'clock. So just wanted to let you know, that way, you are aware of that constraint. And that way, by you being proactive and reaching out, not changing anything, but just being proactive, asking the signer, hey, communicating that, hey, informing them, documents are coming later, they may be late, just in case, is there a possibility, if it is pushed, do you have any flexibility? You're being proactive because you're reaching out and asking them that, so the title company doesn't have to, so the signing service doesn't have to, being proactive, and then also letting us know about that. That way, if it does get pushed, we know exactly what the game plan is. Normally, what signing agents typically do is not reach out, and or if, let's say it's 7 o'clock and you get the 9 a.m. signing, they'll say, hey, I don't have docs yet, it's less than 2 hours away from the signing, please unassign me. Like, that is the absolute worst. Like, welcome to, you're about to be blacklisted with a negative review. Completely unacceptable. What you could say is if you had, let's say, appointments past that 9 a.m., let's say you had a 10:30 or 11 or 12, and it wasn't close, and you have to make 9, or else, it's not likely you're going to be able to do both and not be late. You can just communicate that, hey, just so you know, I do have a closing at 11 a.m., and it is like 45 minutes away, so I can only really, get documents and maybe get there at like 9:15, 9:30, and after that it's pushing it for me to be on time, just so you're aware. How would you like me to proceed? And that way we know what your constraints are, but just communicate that. Now, before the appointment, once you get the documents and you're reviewing them, if you see something on there that doesn't make any sense, maybe the signer's name is not right, the date could be wrong, the notary block has something weird in it, and you had a question on the documents, again, communicate with the hiring party, title, or the signing service and say, hey, this is what I saw in the documents on page 12. Could you answer me this question about XYZ? And that's what we want to hear. That lets us know that you're, number one, paying attention to detail, and number two, you want the signing to go perfectly. You want the documents to be flawless, so nothing is held up. And we love to see that. What we see in reality is most signing agents will get the documents, they'll have questions, they won't ask us, or they'll just ask in a Facebook group when they could have got the answer in about 5 seconds by texting us or emailing us, and then they'll go to the signing, guess, and then when we're reviewing scans, we're like, that's wrong, but you didn't ask us. So again, ask your hiring party. It's a sign that you're trying to have a perfect signing, not a sign that you're weak or knowledgeable, okay? You want clarity, get clarity. We want it done right the first time, because it just screws everything up if we have to go back again, and it's a chain reaction that goes negatively. Next, contact the hiring party. When you actually are going to the appointment and you physically arrive at the appointment, hopefully, if it's a 9 a.m. appointment, you're there at 8:50, 8:55, something like that. Here's something no one does. Communicate that to your hiring party. Send them a text or email. Hi, I just arrived at the appointment. Just want to let you know I'm here. That's it. What normally happens is no one tells us. So we have to hope and assume and guess that you are there. But when we get those emails, and again, it's very few and far between, very small percentage. When they say, hey, I've arrived, it lets us know, hey, you're there early. We know we're good to go. That sign is gonna go off well because you're there or you're there early. We love the communication, but most people don't do it. One simple email, but it helps you stand out. I'm telling you, just do it, okay? Next, when you're at the table and something comes up and the signer has a question on a document you can't answer because you don't have that knowledge, it's a why question, not a what question, or it's beyond your scope or your ability, call us. Call the hiring party at all times, or call the title or lender, and then let your hiring party know, hey, the signers had a question about their closing disclosure. We got a hold of the lender on speakerphone, they solved it, and then we're continuing to sign. That's it. Or we called title, we got them involved, and the title's sending us an updated document, and just wanted to let you know. That's it. But always call from the table. This is probably the number one error, besides notarial errors we see, is when there are issues at the table, notaries don't pick up the phone and contact the hiring party. They will just try to wing it, try to solve the problem on their own, or not call anyone, and then just leave something blank or not signed, and then communicate this after the fact, after the appointment's over, which is a total rookie mistake, and I see it all the time. So please call from the table, regardless of whether you can solve the problem or not. Call the hiring party, because we want to be involved so we can attempt to solve the problem for you. Most of the time, we can answer the questions you have 90% of the time. And if not, we can call title or the lender on their cell phones, because we have that information most of the time, and get a hold of them and get them on speaker and let them communicate for you. So either way, call your hiring party. Next, update the order. Once the appointment is over, let us know. Again, what normally happens is the notary has done the appointment, they'll drive home, they'll start working on scans, they'll start uploading scans. The 9 o'clock appointment, they finish at 9:45, they're driving home, they're scanning, and now it's 10:45, and we've had no communication. And our clients are like, did the appointment go, did it actually happen? Did everyone sign? Like, we have no idea. We're like waiting to fund the loan, especially if it's same day, where these funds need to go out to the sellers, the agents, the lender, mortgage payoffs, or they have to actually use these funds, send to another title company, because the sellers are now turning around and being buyers in a different transaction. Like, we have no idea what's going on. So it happens all day long. What you should be doing, which is what I do and what I did all the time when I work with signing services, as soon as I walk out of the appointment and I get into my car, the first thing I do is get my phone, log into signing order, and update the order as signed. Order complete, signing, and then leave details. This is the other part that never happens. Signing went great. We chatted about XYZ, about where they're moving next. The signers did have a question on the Alta about the XYZ fee. We called title to get clarity. They were comfortable after that. We signed everything. I'm heading home to scan now, or in my case, I'm scanning in the next 10 minutes because I'm just gonna pop them in my trunk and start scanning. You should have those in the next 10 minutes, and then I'm heading to FedEx to drop. Boom, perfect. Number one, you let us know the order's complete. That way our clients know it's done. There's details. Again, most people never put any freaking details. It's frustrating. Let us know, was it great? Were there issues? We have no idea. We have to then ask the agent or the lender, how was the signing? Were there any issues? Or the actual signers themselves. So let us know everything that happened, be as detailed as you possibly can, and that will get you more business all day long. And then some people will say, the notaries will say, well, I didn't update the orders complete because I haven't been to FedEx yet. No, look, all you have to do, take the FedEx or UPS label that's been provided in the package, and then on signing order, you put signing complete, all the details, how is it being shipped back, FedEx tracking, and then you put the number that's on the label right in there, update, and that way once you actually do drop, whether that's in 30 minutes or 5 hours, we can check the tracking, which we check 3 times a day anyway, and verify the documents are actually tracking. But you don't need to wait until you're actually at FedEx to put that FedEx number in or the UPS number in. It's already on the slip, you already have it, just plug it in and mark the order complete so everyone knows what the heck is going on and what the next steps are. You're actively working on the scans, or you're actively working to drive to FedEx or whatever. And also, obviously, if they gave you a check at closing, a remark about that. Yep, I also got that cash to close check. They handed it to me. It's a certified check that will be in my scans. It's coming in the next 10 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, whatever. So be incredibly detailed there once the order is complete. And then last point of communication, the next day, touch base with your hiring party. Hey, just wanted to follow up. And I'd probably wait until at least noon because FedEx, obviously, most of the time, most of our clients use the standard overnight FedEx label, meaning they have, till about 10:30 a.m. to deliver that package to the title company. So I'd probably wait till about noon and say, hey, just want to touch base on that order yesterday, making sure the package got there on time. There weren't any issues that you know of. And then we're like, yeah, nope, haven't heard anything. Yep, package got there, should be good to go. And that's the opportune time, if you killed it from steps A to Z, to say, hey, it was a pleasure working with you. Looking forward to working with you again. Let me know how I can get added to your preferred list, or if you loved working with me, would love to work with you more. If you wouldn't mind, please add me to your preferred list. That's it. And that shows us that you can communicate from A to Z, and then the call to action, you ask for the business at the end. Doing these steps, over communicating, it's not a lot of time. We're talking about literally, you're typically already going to update the order, confirm, mark it complete anyway. It's just taking the extra 10 seconds to a minute on each of these steps to actually do it quickly, timely, and leaving the details in the comments makes a huge, huge difference, okay? You will get so much more business, okay? Trust and believe. You're like, this is simple stuff. Like, it is. No one freaking does it. 5% of the time, 10% of the time max, okay? Do this and you will get more business. You're welcome. Okay, I hope this has added some great information about how you can get more business by simply over communicating. No one does it. It's a tremendous skill. Now, if you are a notary and you have direct title, realtor, or lender business, and you refer us to that business to help out-of-state closings that you can't personally cover because we are nationwide, and send us any business our way, we will pay you 10% commissions, uncapped, every single month, direct deposit, which we do already for many notaries in the DMV. So all you have to do, send an email and CC me, Brad@superlativesignings.com, and just say, hey, Brad and his team at Superlative Signings are happy to help you, Mr. Lender, Mrs. Realtor, or Mr. and Mrs. Title Company, with those out-of-state closings I can't personally do because I'm not commissioned in all 50 states. We pay you every month. It's a win-win all around. So I hope this video has added tremendous value to you. Now, if you are a signing agent, you have direct business, but you don't want to refer us because you're going to start a signing service, or you're thinking about starting a signing service, you might be farming it out right now. Here is a video for you about how to start a notary signing service. Again, you're welcome. You'll love it. Plenty of info there, or take Mark's next level course on how to start a signing service. Link is in the description below. Now, I appreciate you hanging out to the very end. You are the 1%, the die-hard notaries that are trying to improve your business, constant learners, and you are the cream of the crop. I appreciate you hanging out to the end of the video. Good luck on your signings. Good luck growing your scaling and building your business, over communicating. And until next time, peace.